Welcome to 3D animation course of SufiVoice.com. Lesson 7, Working with Camera and Lights. In today's session, we'll be looking at working cameras and lights. So let us first look at three different types of lights. Now, in order to make an animation effective, okay, lighting plays a major role. So you can add lights to an animation from the create menu. Click on this create menu and click on lights. Okay, so when you click on this lights, it will show you three different, actually there are only three different types of lights. One is a pointed light. Okay, so this can be used to cover like residential lighting, like where minimum requirement of light is needed. Okay, and this is a directional light. When you want to specifically highlight one area in the animation, we'll use directional light. Okay, it means it will not be of high intensity, it will be of low intensity. Okay, and a third one is a spotlight. Okay, now spotlight, generally you would have seen this in film industry. So it will have a high degree of light intensity when compared to point light and directional light. Okay, now though they are six, actually they are only three. Now this is a lighter version of point light and this is a darker version. And second one, this one is a directional dark, means intensity of directional light will be more. And here it will be more powerful spotlight when compared to this one. Okay, now which one to use where? Like if it is an indoor environment, okay, you may use this pointed light version or dark version. If you're specifically highlighting one object, you can use this directional light. And if it is a complete setup or a big scene and you want to get every aspect highlighted, then we may prefer spotlight. Okay, so basically we have this three lights, and I'll just in a moment I'll show you how to use these three lights in an animation. Okay, so to use, just like, so suppose you want point light, click on point light and click on create. Okay, so it creates a pointed light. Okay, now so right, we'll come back to this and we'll see the difference of the three lights in an animation. Okay, now here you have the camera. Will what we do is we'll keep the light here. Now you can see, like if I move, where it is focusing. Okay, so you just take up this camera, and because the camera is not pointing to the area where we have the light. Okay, now you see this is the place where we have the light. Okay, now if you change the thing, you will, like, the intensity is less. Now if I want more intensity, so what I can do, I can bring down this light. So now it is almost like an uh, residential, like how we have a bulb in our home. Okay, so it is almost similar to that type. Okay, so anyhow we'll use generally we use this point light near the characters. When you want to highlight the face of a character, you will use this point light. Okay, so that was about lights. And what we'll do is we'll create an environment setup so that we can use cameras and lights, and you will also get a very clear understanding how to place and use this lights. Okay, so let's first create a backdrop. Okay, so here we'll take a curved backdrop. Okay, click on create. Yeah, so like this we have a backdrop. Now yesterday I told you we can always change the image of the backdrop. Okay, now you don't want this image, go to properties. Okay, click on the image. Now here you can also import an image. Okay, so let us import. So we'll try to okay, we'll try to import any one of the images. Okay, we'll keep this. Okay, it may not look that good. Um, okay, so we'll keep this. Right. So right. So you have now you see immediately gets applied. Now we have the curved image, and depending upon the requirement you can adjust this curved image so it looks smaller. So let us go to scale and we'll scale it a little bit. Okay, so again you can adjust and you can scale it as you like. Okay, so now it's almost covered up. So like this, you can scale and use the environment, right? Now, so suppose after this, what we'll do is we'll try to add, okay, we'll change the flooring. Flooring gets almost mixed up. Environment ground, and we'll take up ground, we'll take up a little darker one. Okay, maybe this one. Okay, this one fine. This one looks fine. Okay, so now we have changed the background of changed the floor aspect. Okay, right. After this, we'll create a character. We'll add a character. Okay, so right. Uh, so let's term him like his. I think we need to scale it up. We'll scale it. It looks he looks very small. Okay, so we'll go to body, and in the body will increase its size. Okay, right, fine. And anything else? Appearance will change his hairstyle. Okay, we'll change his hairstyle. Okay, scale hair crew cut. Okay, so we'll change his hairstyle and select this one. Okay, now yeah, this one or this one. I think this one looks good. So we'll change his hairstyle. Yeah, so this looks good. Okay, so we'll add another character. We'll add a lady character. Okay, let's move her back. Okay, and let's a little bit work with her hairstyle. Okay, hair, and which one? Okay, so we'll select this. Okay, yeah, this looks fine, or shall we go with this? Okay, we'll go with this one, right? And we'll also scale her up. Okay, now both the characters are Okay, yeah, still I think we can scale a little bit more, scale her also a little bit more. Right, okay, so we have scaled both the characters. Now what we'll do is we'll work till now we have worked only with one camera. Okay, so here what we'll do is we'll add one more camera. Okay, go to create, in the create select camera. Now here, if you have observed, we have two camera views. Okay, now here both the cameras are placed side by side, so they are showing the same image. Now what I'll do is uh, I'll make them apart. Okay, now here this is camera 1 and this is camera 2. Okay, so we'll okay, so right, so yeah, sometimes don't panic, so it's okay. So what happens is now what we'll do is we'll move this camera 1 this side and camera 2 that side and camera 1 this side. Okay, so before we set an animation, we'll put up camera 2 to focus on. Okay, so we'll adjust it in such a way that camera 1 focuses on the female character. Okay, so we'll adjust the character to some other direction so that we are able to capture uh, her completely. Okay, so if you move it front a little back. Okay, now we can, so camera 1, now camera 1 is pointing the female character, sorry, camera 2 is pointing the female character. Now in the similar manner we'll adjust the camera 1 to point the male character. Okay, right, now in both the cases we see that uh, the whole part is not getting covered up. So we'll move them a little bit so that the whole part is getting covered up. Okay, now sometimes you need to a little bit scale it up. If movement doesn't work, then we have to scale it up so that the whole thing is getting covered. So let us keep it as a maximum then. Okay, then we'll move this person a bit this side. Okay, and we'll move the female character also a little move forward. Okay, yeah, now already we have two cameras, so we'll add one more camera. Okay, so to point towards the center part. So now you can see three different angles. Camera 3 is pointing with the two characters. Camera 1 is pointing the male character, and camera 2 is pointing the female character. Okay, so you can, like, if required, we can slowly make changes a little bit so that our capture is clear. Okay, so we'll move him a little bit back. Okay, so sometimes we need to, because it light. Now this is our setting, but at some places it is dark, some places it is light. So here you can use the light. Okay, now see what happens the moment I add light here. Now you can see the difference behind the girl. Okay, here I have a light, point light. Okay, here you can see the clear difference. Here also you can see the clear difference. But this side looks more bright, and this side looks lighter. So what to do? You can add one more pointed light. Okay, so we'll bring in one more pointed light, and we'll place it here. Okay, you can adjust and you can place. See, there's no hard and fast rule. We have to go with. Now you see that the difference between the two areas. Like if you don't want to specifically highlight this, what you do is you move it a little up. Still pointed light format will be there, but it will not be highlighted. So like this, you can use the pointed light. And what was the next one? Next type of light we have used. Okay, we'll remove this, and we'll also remove this. So see, now it is almost dark. So definitely we need a light here. So here what we'll do is we'll use a directional light first, and I will say create. Okay. Now, to work with this, you can, if you bring it close, the intensity will increase. Okay, you can work. Okay, you can use this edit, and you can also work with brightness if you want to. Like right now, this is the brightness. So if you increase it, so the brightness will increase. Okay, so like this. Now, if you bring it down and down, uh, close to the characters, the intensity will increase. If you raise it, the intensity will decrease. Okay, now this was the lighter version of directional light. So we'll remove that, and we'll add one more light. What was that? It was the spotlight. Okay, so we'll create a spotlight. Okay, so again, you can modify spotlight. Okay, brightness, cone, and angle you can modify. Okay, you can work on with the distance, softness. Okay, so this, or again you can turn this. Okay, now you might have seen this in old movies. So you can set up this spotlight effect here. So that's how we can work with multiple cameras and lights. Okay, which type of light we are going to use depends upon the circumstance. Like in this case, we have used spotlight. So one camera shows up the male character, the other camera shows the female character, and one camera is pointing the two characters. Okay, so in moments and cuts lesson, we'll learn about how to manage this cameras. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's uh, lesson. In lesson 7, we have learned how to work with multiple cameras to cover different angles in a given scene. We had also learned how to use lights, how to work with pointed light, directional light, and spotlights.